up, bookworms? Today I'm going to be doing a haul video for you. It's a book haul, but it's specifically an ARC haul because I've had a lot of ARCs sent to me recently, and I thought it would be nice to share them. Some of them I've read, some of them I'm just so excited to read. I just wanted to share them. Here we are. And then I'm also going to show you some candles that I got at the end of the video. So the first ARC that I have to show you is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I've already read this book and I really enjoyed it. This was really cute. It's actually way more about family than it is about romance. I'm very, very thankful that I got my hands on this one early. It comes out in June, but it's Morgan Matson, so obviously I had to drop everything to read it. And then another book that I got also from Simon & Schuster is Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, and I requested this one because I really enjoyed the Burn for Burn series, which Jenny Han co-wrote with Siobhan Vivian, so I'm interested in reading a book that she has written on her own, but also ice cream. This follows a girl who works at Mead Creamery, which is like an ice cream store, and she's been working there for years, and she's super close with everyone else who works there. And then this guy shows up and kind of threatens the whole like sisterhood vibe that they've got going on there, and it just sounds like it's gonna be super adorable. And again, ice cream. The next book is also from Simon & Schuster, and that is Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I really enjoyed Jen Bennett's last book, which was Alex Approximately, and I'm so excited to be able to read this one as well. This one I also requested. It follows two people named Zori and Lennon, and they used to be best friends, and then something happened, they got into a huge fight, and now they're basically like mortal enemies, and their families are also enemies. It says that they're like the modern day Californian version of the Montagues and the Capulets, so that sounds like a pretty intense rivalry that's going on. But the two of them have to go on this trip with their graduating class, and they get stranded together in the wilderness, and it just sounds like it's gonna be super adorable. Then I was so excited. I requested this one from Wednesday Books. It is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This book is a standalone fantasy, and it is about Vikings. As soon as I heard that, I was like, what? I need this book in my life. And they were kind enough to send me a copy. I'm so looking forward to reading this one. I feel like this has potential to be like one of my favorite books of the year. It says part Wonder Woman, part Vikings, so you know it's full of like really strong, intense female characters, and I'm like just so excited to dive into this one. I should tell you when things come out. So this one comes out in April. Stay Sweet also comes out in April, and Starry Eyes also comes out in April. Next, from Source Books, I got a copy of Furyborn by Claire Legrand, which I am so excited about. So it's told over different decades. It follows two different timelines, and there is a Blood Queen and there is a Sun Queen. It just sounds like it's gonna be so good. It's been getting so much like hype and so much buzz lately. I think it was also in a fairy loot box, so there are a lot of people that have gotten their hands on this one early, and the general consensus seems to be that everyone loves it. I'm like really excited to dive into this one. It's the first book in a new trilogy. This one comes out in May. Then HMH Teen sent me a copy of Brightly Burning by Alexa Doan, and I did not really know too much about this one, but I looked into it after it appeared, and it is described as Jane Eyre but in space, which sounds really cool. And now that I've read Jane Eyre, I am all about reading Jane Eyre retellings because I'm familiar with the story and I feel like I'll get more of like the references. And this one also comes out in May. Then, so exciting, but Harper sent me a copy of 9 Days and 9 Nights by Katie Cotugno, and I'm just so happy to have this one. You guys know how much I love Katie Cotugno's books, and this is actually like a sequel to 99 Days, which I really enjoyed, so I'm very much looking forward to finding out how the next part of their story is going to go. This one also comes out in May, and it's actually much shorter than I thought that it was going to be, so I'm probably gonna read this like very soon. Then Disney sent me a copy of Little Do We Know by Tamara Ireland Stone. This one comes out in June. I have not yet read a Tamara Ireland Stone book. I've been wanting to read every last word for like the longest time, and it follows two girls who are ex-best friends, and I believe that they're neighbors, and they haven't gotten along in a long time, but there's some kind of accident that happens with one of the girls' boyfriends, and the two of them kind of have to figure out what was going on. It sounds like it's going to be really emotional and really like hard-hitting in the feels, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Then also from Disney, they sent me The Sweetest Kind of Fate, which is the second book in the Windy City Magic series. Now, I have not yet read the first book, but they also did send me a copy of that one. My friend Lauren read it and she loved it, and I think I'm gonna love it too because it takes place in a city, so it's in Chicago, and it also follows a girl who's like kind of like witchy and has magic. Oh my gosh. I just noticed that there are mermaid tails, like shadows of mermaid tails here. Now I'm even more excited, and I think I'm gonna have to read that first book so that I can get to this one like ASAP. Oh, and this one actually comes out this month. So if you have not yet read the first one or the second one, you can grab both of them and binge them. Then also from Source Books, along with Fairyborn, they sent me a couple of other books. The first one being The Heart Forager by Rin Chiapeko. The first book in this series is The Bone Witch. So I've not yet read the first one, so I cannot read this one or the synopsis yet because I don't want to spoil myself. But I do really want to get to these. Alexa and I actually went to the signing at Books of Wonder. It was like a big event with 4 authors, and Rin Chiapeko was there, so I did pick up a signed copy of her first book. And then we also picked up a signed copy of Mask of Shadows by Lindsay Miller, and Source sent me the second book to that, which is Ruin of Stars. This one comes out in August of 2018, so I have a good amount of time before I have to read the first one in order to read this one to be caught up for when this one comes out. But I'm really excited to have the second ones of both of these books because I feel like that will give me a push to read the first ones since I've had them for quite a while now. And lastly, they sent me Brujaborn by Zoraida Cordova, and this is a companion novel to Labyrinth Lost. Pretty excited about that. This one comes out in June of 2018. I really love this cover. I think it's really pretty. Again, I'm like kind of scared to read the back of it because I haven't read Labyrinth Lost just yet. I'm very thankful that they sent these to me along with Fairyborn. The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. I really liked Maureen's first book. I thought it was so much fun, and it follows a girl who works in a Korean Brazilian food truck, and if it is anywhere near as adorable as her first book was, I know that I'm going to love it, and I'm so excited. I've wanted this one since it was announced. I love the cover. I love like the ombre of colors. I think it's so pretty. This one comes out in May. Then also in that box, I got Holly Jolly Summer by Tiffany Stewart, and I really like the cover of this one because Christmas. It actually sounds really cute because it takes place in Christmas, Kentucky. So it's actually in the United States, but it's like this town is just a year-round tourist destination because it's just known for like Christmas stuff. So even though it's like clearly summer here and you've got a palm tree, they're just known for like doing Christmassy things. And it says that it's a lighthearted beach read. So I feel like I will pick this one up over the summer. And this one comes out in May. Then we've got The Traitor's Ruin by Erin Beatty. And this is the second book in a series. The first one being The Traitor's Kiss, which I have not yet read. So again, I need to read that book before I can read this one, but I heard really good things about that. I do like this cover a lot. And I know like so many people seem to be very excited for this one, so I'm really looking forward to reading both. This second one comes out in July. Hi, Kristen from the future here. So I filmed an ARC and candle haul, and now it is near the end of February, and I realized that I really didn't buy that many books this month. I can't believe it. I've never in my life bought so few books in a month. Like I don't know. It's so crazy. So I decided that I'm just going to show off the finished copies that I got here as well. And I'm going to be making this video my February book haul because I did get a lot of like ARCs. I just didn't really buy that much, which is like very cool. But I mean, you saw my Disney haul, so. Okay, so 2 finished books that I got from publishers are People Like Us by Dana Melee, and I actually just finished reading this book and I really enjoyed it, so you will hear more about this in my wrap-up. But I have talked about this one a lot on my channel because I was really excited to read it. It's a YA thriller and it ended up being really satisfying, but I really like the finished copy. It's that like textured kind of cover, so it like feels really nice. Then the uniforms are like shiny, and then the spine is plaid, which is so cute. Oh, actually, I didn't even look at the back as an email too. So like, this is just a really pretty finished book. I'm pretty excited about this. Then I was also sent a copy of The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw, and I'm currently in the middle of reading this one, and I'm also really loving this. So I'm really, really happy about that. It is a witchy book. It is compared to Hocus Pocus, and I would totally agree that I could see why there is that comparison. As I said in an Instagram photo recently, Simon Tien has been killing it with book design. Like, first of all, look at this. Beautiful, yes, but look at that! And it's like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And it's silver, so it's like shiny too. This is just like, and there's even like the stars on the spine, and then like the back is also stars. I just think like between this book and American Panda, they should just like win an award for book design because it's beautiful. I also got a copy of Daughters of the Storm by Kim Wilkins. Honestly, this sounds so good. It's a high fantasy novel, and it follows 5 sisters, and their father is the king, and he gets really sick, and then the 5 girls have to kind of band together in order to try to help save their father and have him cured of this illness so that their evil stepbrother doesn't take over and take the throne. They reach out to like this witch to try to help cure their dad, and it honestly just sounds like it's gonna be so good. I love anything with court intrigue and like court politics, and the fact that it's 5 women who are going to be banded together to overcome this man, like their evil stepbrother. I'm so into it. I'm so here for this book. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to read this one. Then I got a finished copy of The Bells by Danielle Clayton. I've already read this one. I went to the event for this and I showed it to you guys in my vlog of that. There's a pink map. It's signed to me from Danielle, and I really enjoyed this book, and I also just really love the whole look and like the pink that's going on in here. It makes me so happy. Then I got Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston, and I have read Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and I loved that book, so now I have to read all of the other Star Wars books that are in canon. But Andrew and I have also been watching, like serious binge watching the Clone Wars, and I love Ahsoka's character so much, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. But I looked up the current Star Wars canon timeline. I actually did a blog post about this too, so I'll leave a link to it down below, but it's looking like I shouldn't read this until I finish the Clone Wars, which is like torture because I keep looking at it and I'm like, I want to read you, but I'm like, I can't because I don't want to be spoiled, even though I sort of know her story arc because of like, it's hard to get away from Star Wars spoilers if you listen to Star Wars things. I feel like I should like watch everything play out and then read this one, and it's gonna be glorious. Then in last month's book haul, I showed you Half a King by Joe Abercrombie, and I have read over half of it at this point. I'm obsessed, so I immediately bought Half the World, which is the second book in the trilogy, and Half a War, which is the third book in the trilogy. All of these are by Joe Abercrombie. I owe Holly Hart's books like so much for getting me into these because they're wonderful, and I have to read the rest of Joe Abercrombie's books now. These are high fantasy, but they're like so readable, and you just like flip through the pages like so quick because they're so good. So I'm really excited to have these, and I got like one of the last reasonably priced hardcovers of the second book. They were published like a couple years ago, so the hardcovers are a little hard to find, but you can definitely find them in paperback. I also got Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. This is a book that is coming out very soon, and it follows a lady pirate, so I'm into it already. And the other main character is a male, and he is like the president's son, and he's wanting like adventure, and then the girl, Marin, she kind of kidnaps him and holds the president's son for ransom in order to try to like fix problems between some of the islands so that her people will be better off. And it sounds like it's going to be really good, and it's actually a standalone, which is pretty nice, and it's fantasy, and I cannot wait to read this one because pirates and lady pirates. I also got The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This copy of the book came in my owl crate. I obviously already have the original edition of The Hazelwood too, but I really love this green cover, and I'm so excited to have this one as well. I think it's so pretty. I also got The Traitor Prince by CJ Redwine, and this is the third book in the Ravenspire series. It's a series where all of the books are inspired by different fairy tales, and each book is a companion book, but they are all like tied together within the same world. I really liked the first one, have not yet read the second one, but this is the third one, and these also have great maps. Like, that's awesome. And I got Prince in Disguise by Stephanie Kate Strom. This one I've been really looking forward to reading. My friend Christina from Girl in the Pages, who she runs a book blog, she highly recommended this one. She said it was really cute and fun, so I'd been wanting to read it. I'm also like just into royal books now, especially with like the royal wedding coming up. I feel like it's a good time to read royal books. I also got Crimson Lake by Candice Fox, and this is a thriller novel, and it's set in Australia, and that's really all that I needed to know. That sounded really good. I love reading thrillers like between fantasy books. I feel like those are the ones that they like really hold my attention. I'm able to read them really quick because usually the story is pretty engaging and you're trying to kind of figure out what's going on. And Tor actually sent a copy of this to me, and they sent it to me with some alligators and some Tim Tams because Australia, and I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. When I opened the box, Andrew was like, Tim Tams, you love those, and I was like, yes, I do. So I'm pretty excited to read this one. And then finally, I got Your Name by Makoto Shinkai. This is the novelization of the anime movie, and I really love the movie. It was so beautiful. I've heard that the novelization is not as great as watching the film, which makes sense because it was really like the animation that was so breathtaking in there, but I still want to read it. I think it sounds interesting just to get like some extra details about the things that went on in the film. And then I actually got 2 more arcs that I have here to show you. and they're good ones. So first, the wait is over for me. I got Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and I'm so excited for this book. I loved the first one so much, and I just cannot wait to read this. It's gonna be amazing. One of my friends already read it, and he said that he actually liked Legendary better than Caraval, and I loved Caraval, so I am here for this. I opened this and I was just like over the moon excited. This is so high up on my TBR, you have no idea. And I also got Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, and I am so excited for this book. I know I keep saying that, but I'm seriously like really excited to read all of these things that I've gotten. So Undead Girl Gang follows a girl. She has like one best friend, and then her and a bunch of other people end up murdered, but everybody decides that they probably had like a suicide pact and they all decided to kill themselves together. But Mila is like, no, she wouldn't do that. So Mila brings all of the girls back to life, and none of them know what happened. None of them remember being murdered. So they only have like a limited amount of time while they all have to try to figure out exactly what happened and how it is that they ended up dead. And they obviously want to figure it out before the killer strikes again. This has had some comparisons to Mean Girls, which sounds like something that is totally up my alley. So I'm really excited for it. I also am just obsessed with this cover. I love the denim jacket and the enamel pins. I've fallen like so heavily down an enamel pin hole lately, and it's kind of a problem, but I'm just so excited for this one. All right, and those are all of the books that I have to show you. So as you know, I am a rep for CanterburyRoadCo, and if you use my code SuperspaceChick17, you can get 17% off of all of the purchases that you make in her shop, and that will be linked down below. I just wanted to show off her February candles. So first one that I have here is The Bells, and I actually picked out the scents for this candle as I was reading. It smells like pink champagne, raspberry, and lemon macaroons. Danielle Clayton, the author of The Bells, is actually the one that chose the label for this, so that was pretty cool. Then we've also got one more chapter, and this one smells like cotton, pears, and sunflowers, and this one is like totally my aesthetic, so I am just loving this label. Then we've got Reading on My Birthday, which is a rainbow layer cake. Yum. This one smells like cake, fizzy champagne, and sprinkles, and it's just like sweet and bubbly and delicious, and I've burned this one a ton already. Then I've got The Thorn of Camor, and this is a candle that was inspired by the lies of Loch Lamora. It smells like witchwood, gold sea, and brass, and now that I have this, I feel like I should pick up Red Seas Under Red Skies because I really need to get caught up in time for the fourth book, which I think is coming out next year. Then I really love this one. It's Currently Blogging. So she has like a line of currently reading candles, and we thought it would be fun to come up with one that said currently blogging for all of those bloggers out there. Again, the aesthetics are so pretty, and this one smells like spun sugar and fresh flowers. Then we've got The Hating Game, which is a candle for The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This one smells like flamethrower red and strawberry shortcake, and it is delicious. And Sally Thorne actually tweeted that she saw it and she liked it, so that was pretty cool. Then this one's probably my favorite one of the bunch. It is Currently Reading the Love Edition, and it smells like white chocolate raspberry mocha. All of the candles in the reading line tend to have some kind of like coffee twist to them, and coffee is one of my favorite scents, so I always tend to love these ones the most. But I'm just obsessed with this label. I love the red with the black lace. I think it's so beautiful, and it's gonna be in a lot of Instagram photos going forward. And then lastly, I have Temple of Time, which is actually a candle from The Legend of Zelda, and this one smells like strawberry, basil, and sage, and it smells delicious, and it's obviously Andrew's favorite, and we're definitely gonna be burning this one while we play some video games. So those are all the things that I have to show you in my book and candle bookish haul thing today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and that is all that I have for this video, so I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!